So it's a new year. Yay! We have to love that. It's a new year. When last we met, we were saying goodbye to 2017, and we were preparing to welcome in 2018. Well, we're here. We are here. So, 2018. So far, so good? Good thing. It's a good thing. But I want 2018 to be our best year ever. Okay? Will you join with me in that? Let us affirm, right, personally and as a community, let us affirm 2018 will be our best year ever. Best year ever. I want this year to be the year that you meet the love of your life. Okay? See, we have people. Okay. I want this year to be the year that makes your career. Okay? This is it. I want this year to be the year of your financial prosperity. Just, good stuff. I want this year to be the year of your best health ever. Your best health ever. I want us to break open the floodgates of spiritual power and manifest the life of our dreams. Yes, do you feel like you can do that this year? Can you commit to that? Thank you. You with me? Okay, so how do we do that? We do that by going back to basics. We're going back to basics. Maybe we've picked up a couple of little habits along the way that do not support our spiritual growth. Maybe we have fallen off of our spiritual practice here and there. Maybe we've chosen to do something else when our meditation cushion is calling us. Right? We're like, no, quiet, I got other things to do. Maybe we are praying as a last resort instead of a first response. See, we're spiritual first responders. That's who we are. Our first place we go is prayer, not the last place. It's not last resort, it's first response. Corrie ten Boom said this. She said, is prayer your steering wheel or your spare tire? We are spiritual first responders. It is up to us. We have maybe our affirmations over this past year, maybe our affirmations got a little tinged with fear or with doubt, or maybe we're just being too realistic, right? That's a killer. I just want to be rational. I don't want to, hope for too much. We start lowering our own bar. Maybe we wandered off somewhere into the past, regretting stuff, or into the future, worrying about stuff. But we're not present in the now where our spiritual power is. The only place where we can enact change is right here in the present moment. So maybe we've wandered off and we're wondering why our affirmations and our prayers aren't working. Well, we're not here with them. So we go back to basics. We go back to basics. We go back to what it was like when we first discovered this philosophy. You remember what that felt like? Remember when you first discovered and you started to test it and you started to do what Ernest Holmes said, right? Throw the books out the window. Not literally, but you never know. But you throw the books out the window and you start doing the work. You start experimenting, like Ernest Holmes said, experimenting with these truths and getting manifestations. And wasn't that cool? Remember what that was like, that honeymoon phase? We dove in wholehearted. We didn't even question it. We started doing affirmations. We started doing 5-step prayers, even if we didn't know how to do them. We just kept counting on our heads like, God is all there is. Okay, I am one with God. We started doing that, and we started getting change, that honeymoon period, right? What do they say? We start manifesting princes, palaces, and parking places. I love that, right? That was our honeymoon phase. We prayed, we affirmed, we visioned. Stuff started changing in our lives. And we did it in total innocence and total trust. We didn't doubt a thing. We just like, okay, let's just dive in and do it. And things changed around us, right? And so here we are. We've gotten to the place where it's like, what, same old, same old? Things happen, whatever. So maybe those are the kinds of results you're getting. Now you're getting the, semi results too. We return to principle. When things start getting there, when things start going to the same old, We have to go back to principle. We go back to the beginning. We go back to the beginning of our teaching. We go back to the beginning to the way it felt when we first discovered this philosophy. We go back to the beginning of our spiritual path. We go back to the beginning of the book. We go back to the beginning of the book. And if you open the book right there on the inside, it says, these lessons are dedicated to that truth which frees man from himself and sets him on a pathway of a new experience, which enables him to see through the mist to the eternal and changeless reality. That's where we're going. We're going back there. That's where we go. And so when you crack open the text, you find the dedication, which is right below the passage that I just read. And that dedication is peace be unto thee, stranger. And it is also what is printed on your bulletin at the very top. So you can take that home with you. It's also wonderful, wonderful words to the dedication of the textbook. And then when you turn to the table of contents, you'll find prior to chapter 1, in the introduction, 4 parts. The thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. The beginning of the beginning. And that's where it all started. That's where it all started for us in this philosophy when we discovered it. And the thing itself is also the title of this talk. And you'll notice for this whole entire month, those 4 titles are the titles to all the Sunday talks. And in this introduction, the thing itself, Ernest Holmes said this. He said, the study of science of mind is a study of first cause, spirit, mind, the invisible essence, the ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of creation, the thing itself. The thing itself. What we as humans know about the thing itself is that it is creation. It is creation itself. It creates from its own substance, never being depleted, never being absorbed by its creations. It is the principle of life itself. And like all principles, it's invisible. It is the invisible behind the visible. We don't see principles, we just use them. Right? You don't see electricity, you use electricity. You don't see gravity, you see its effects on things. Ernest Holmes was fond of saying, if we mix 2 colors together, we'll get a 3rd color. All the time. Works the same way for everyone. If I mix red and yellow together, I'm going to get orange. If you mix red and yellow together, you will get orange. It does not matter who mixes red and yellow together. We will get orange. That's the principle. The principle, as Ernest Holmes said, is no respecter of persons. It works the exact same way every single time, regardless of who is using it. Universal principles do not play favorites, and that's what the thing itself is. It is a universal principle. We go back to the Bible and we want to correspond that to the Bible. In Matthew 5:45, it's that God sends the rain on the just and the unjust, right? Rain rains. It doesn't choose who it's going to rain on. Same thing with this principle. It is a universal principle. It responds to all alike, no favorites. The thing itself is a principle. It is not a personality. It's not a big daddy in the sky. Just got to get over that. It doesn't reward some and punish others. Doesn't get angry. Doesn't favor one group of people over another. Sorry, dudes, no chosens. The principle, the thing itself is a principle. It creates. That's what it does. It creates. We must eliminate from our vocabulary any references to the belief that God is some kind of guy or some kind of, even when you say Mother, Father, God, that's not right. Because it transcends even that. It transcends gender. It is a principle. It's a principle. And we have to also eliminate from our vocabulary any sort of idea that God has a plan for us. Sorry if that disappoints you a little bit, But there is no plan for your life other than the one you have. There is no other plan for your life other than the plan you have envisioned for yourself. And when you think things are not working out the way that you envisioned them, remember, you were not born under a bad sign. God has not forsaken you. You are not cursed or hexed or suffering from bad luck or a poor horoscope. Oh, God forbid those people. A poor horoscope? Or God's just forgotten all about you? None of that is true. The only thing that happens is life responds to us. And it reflects back to us what we are feeling, what we are steeped in, what we are resonating with, what we are at our basic core believing is true about our life. So when we get that out of the way, when we get the fear out of the way, when we get the fear of angering the man God out of the way, or that God likes and dislikes certain things or certain people, or likes or dislikes us, when we can get all of that out of the way, we can begin to see the philosophy that is science of mind. It is a metaphysical study, and so we have to approach it in faith, in optimism, with the sense of joyous expectancy all the time. We are surrounded by a power and presence which responds to our predominant feelings and beliefs and outpictures accordingly. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, "This is the simple meaning of true metaphysical teaching, the study of life and the nature of law, governed and directed by thought, always conscious that we live in a spiritual universe, that God is in, through, as, around, and for us." That is the spiritual truth of the world in which we live, in the manifest universe in which we live. And Ernest Holmes started his radio program every week for years like this. Somehow, somewhere.
There's a power for good in the universe, and you can use it.
Don't you love that? That is just lovely. The organ music alone is worth the price of admission. Oh my God, I just love it. Every year, 4 years, radio show. No, more than that. How many years did he do that radio show? 3? Oh my gosh. Huh? Yeah, a long time. That was the way it started every week. There's a power greater than you are in the universe, and you can use it. So when we realize that, when we absolutely embody that, realize we are surrounded always by an energy. It is a principle. It's a principle, and all it's doing is responding to our predominant feelings. We get it, that we are not appeasing a reluctant deity when we pray. We are aligning with a power that responds to us. It responds to us by corresponding with our predominant feelings. Ernest Holmes said prayer is a movement of thought within the mind of the one praying, along a definite line of meditation that is for a specific purpose. That's what we do. We align with this power and presence. The power and presence is always there. It's always been there, always will be there. It's always done what it always did, and it will always do that. It corresponds to our predominant thoughts, and it can only reflect back to us what that is. That thing itself, that first cause, that volition, that creator, is the source and supply of all manifestation everywhere, no exceptions. No exceptions. And we are the result of that. And we are the microcosm of that. And what we think and resonate and immerse ourselves in, that's what outpictures. Now, that being said, I'm not saying we're all God. We're not everything that God is. God is so much more. But everything that God is contained within us, right? You know, the metaphor we always use about the little, glass of ocean water, right? You take a little glass of ocean water out, and everything that's in the ocean is in that little glass. Every single thing, every aspect of ocean is in that little glass. but that little glass is not the whole ocean. Same thing with us. Everything within us is spiritual. Everything within us is qualities of God. We're not all of God. We're not all there is to God. But everything that we are is spirit. Everything. So the thing itself has aspects. It has characteristics. It has an objective and a subjective that is found within it. The objective mind is the conscious mind that we think with. And we may think of it as our mind, but it isn't. It's our use of universal mind. The subjective conscious is that aspect which is set in motion as the creative thing of our conscious mind. And our use of the universal subjective mind, that means it is subject to the conscious, the thinking, the directing part of universal mind. We call that the universal subjective, right? That is the law of mind. So here we are. We are only spirit. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm, and we are here and we are love and law. And Ernest Holmes always said, love points the way. Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. These are the two aspects of the thing itself. And what is that third part? Remember the teaching symbol at the very point? That third part is the manifestation. It is who and what we manifest in this world. And Ernest Holmes said this. He said, the simplest way to state the proposition is to say that we have a conscious mind that operates within a subjective field, which is creative. The conscious mind is love. The subjective mind is law. And the truth is, we've been doing this our whole lives, haven't we? We have been doing this our whole lives, unconsciously, many times. You know, when you're standing in that line and you're like, oh, God, this always happens to me. And the universe says, yes, yes, it does. Because it can't say anything else. They always close the door right when I'm getting ready to go through it. Yeah, okay, sure it does. Every time we make those affirmative statements, whether they are affirmations of our brilliance, affirmations of our limitlessness, or affirmations of our loneliness, or affirmations of our poor health, or affirmations of our fear, whatever they are, the universe says yes. So what are you affirming? So going back to the beginning of the book, going back to the beginning of our philosophy, going back to the beginning of the way we felt when we discovered this teaching is always the answer. Going back to the beginning of the book. And that's why a lot of centers for spiritual living around the globe go back to the beginning, these 4 parts before chapter 1, in January. Because you feel like it's a new slate, it's a new year. I want to recreate my life. I want a bigger, better, broader, brighter, more wonderful out-picturing of what my life can be. So this is the place to do it. If we are seeking fundamental change, a life greater than previously known, more wonderful than ever before, we are on this pathway of unfoldment. We go back to the beginning. We go back to the beginning. We go back to what we know works. Go back to the beginning. Remember the basic truths and use them. Right? And use them, you know? When we, after celebration ends and we get all the tables put out and there's marvelous food and hospitality for us and we sit around chatting and talking, and what are you talking about? You're talking about your potential, you're talking about your limitations. Oh my God, I just got back to the doctors, you know, I'll tell you what the doctor said. Oh my God, I got this thing over here and I got this, you know, and it's like, limitations. Are you speaking to your limitations? Are instead of trying to fix what's wrong, we have to resonate with what's right. We go to the beginning. Yay. We go to the beginning. We go to the beginning. We are on a pathway of unfoldment, and it is up to us to choose the thoughts that we think. It's up to us to choose the thoughts that we think, and we do have that. We have that ability to do that. Yeah, I can't, you know, that stuff just goes through my mind. I just can't think about it. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes. I remember that one time, Jacob Glass, one time, I don't know, this was years ago, when he said, if you had a microphone, and it would broadcast every thought you thought out loud, you'd control your thinking really, really quick, right? You absolutely would. You can control those thoughts. So you speak. What is it? We practice that gap, which is God's area of preparation, right? God's area of preparation. There's a gap between what you think and what you say. Use it. Use it. Speak words of love. Speak words of possibilities. Speak words of infinite good. Speak words of gratitude. Remember, what comes out of your mouth is an affirmation all the time. So you're either affirming your limitation or you're affirming your limitlessness. You're affirming you're poor, you're broke, you're alone, you're lonely, you're unemployed, or you're affirming your possibilities. You are whole, perfect, and complete outpicturing of the mind of God in form, capable of anything, capable of any change at any time. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, "We must learn to come under the divine government and accept the fact that nature's table is ever filled. Never has there been cosmic famine. The finite alone has wrought and suffered. The infinite lies stretched in smiling repose." He was quoting someone else. He goes on to say, God is always God, no matter what our emotional storm or what our objective situation may be. There is always something hidden in the being that has never been violated. We may stumble, but there is always that eternal voice forever whispering in our ear, that thing which causes the eternal quest, that thing which forever sings and sings. This is our inheritance. This is who we are. We have to go back to the beginning this year. This year, 2018, we have to go back to the beginning to sink even deeper into the teaching, to take it on as our lives. This is the year you're finding the love of your life. Yes? Yes. This is the year that makes your career. Yes? Yes. This is the year of financial prosperity. Yes? This is the year you discover the best, you reveal, not even discover, you reveal the best health of your life. Yes? This is the year. Come with me back to the beginning and let us outpicture your best year ever. Thank you so much. Thank you.